So you might be like, oh my gosh, Tabitha's here. Well, that's the truth. I am here with Tabitha Taylor, you guys. What we're going to be talking about today is what business can really look like. You know, what it really, what you thought it was before, and then what it can really look like whenever you're working it from home and that sort of thing. First things first, though, I do need to say all of my win stuff. So make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel, that you comment on the YouTube videos, and also share the YouTube videos on social media and tag myself or my business page in it. And then one person every week is going to win something from my swag shop. And if you're like, where's your swag shop? It is at withmartha.com. And then you go up to shop, and then you can go ahead and see the swag shop. So one person every week is going to be able to choose something, and then we're just going to send it to you. So that's how that goes. Let me get out of here. And I see you guys saying hello in the live chat, so we're gonna pop back around after this interview and then put some of you guys up on screen, so stick around. And also just, what I really love with interviews is just to show people love that are sharing their story. So, you know, if you wanna ask questions, but always make sure that, like, let's edify in the journey, let's edify in the story itself, because it takes all of us, you know. So, all right. I have Tabitha Taylor here with me. Thank you so much for coming on. Super excited about this. Yay.
Thank you.
Of course. So what we're going to talk about is what was life in business? Because this isn't, whenever you started with my stuff, isn't like the first time that you ever started business. You've been doing this for a while. So what did it look like, let's say 1 to 2 years ago? Where were you at with it?
We were in transition 1 to 2 years ago. My husband and I have always been self-employed. Our non-negotiables are to work together from home so we can homeschool our kids and support them in competitive tennis and dance, period. That's our non-negotiable.
Love it.
And we've always made it happen. And we owned a business for 9 years. The market changed. The internet changed. And we could not compete any longer, and it wasn't fun. We did not enjoy it, and we made the decision to close that business in August of 2019 and went back into another business we had done previously. And then in November of 2019, my husband broke his back on the job. And we were like, now what? Because we were lost. We had put all of our savings back into the company. We were down to nothing, and we had to make a quick decision. And then at the same time, in December of 2019, my stepfather was diagnosed with terminal brain cancer. And I was going back and forth between Missouri and my husband's back surgery and back to Missouri and trying to homeschool kids. And I mean, it was just, it was major adversity. We were going through major transition. And in January of 2020, we made the decision to start another company that was a very visual product. It was a woodworking company. And we laid out a marketing plan for trade shows, events, home and garden shows, anywhere we could be visually. And what happened? Mm-hmm. And we went to online. And I told my husband, you know, this isn't working. We've got to come up with a nomadic business. Yeah. One where we can travel with our kids and we can work from anywhere and not be trading your physical labor body for dollars.
Amen to that. How many people that are watching right now, I'm going to go back to one of the beginning things that you said, that you had non-negotiables. That you were doing this for this reason, and your non-negotiables is that you guys were going to be working from home because you have kids that compete in tennis and in dance, and it was your non-negotiable to be able to homeschool them, allow them to compete and stay together, yeah?
Yes, 100%.
So in the comments, let me know if you have set non-negotiables for your family. And if you want to share what they are, I would love to see what they are as well. But also, if you haven't set them yet, think about setting them. think about sitting around the dinner table tonight even and saying, what do we choose for our life to be like? It doesn't mean you have to know how it's going to happen. That's not how you set non-negotiables. You say, what do I choose? And then the blueprint starts to build itself out. But what are your guys' non-negotiables? Those of you that are watching the video right now. So let's fast forward. Okay, man. So you went through. You guys were successful, and then you had like massive things happen. So your husband broke his back, and then your father-in-law, right? Stepdad, I'm sorry, was diagnosed with terminal brain cancer. And so you were all over the place while trying to homeschool. I mean, I think any mom listening to that is like, that is spread thin. Just by, don't add a business on top of it, you know, like that's just spread thin all by itself. And then to add, you know, a business and a primary way to be able to bring in income on top of that. And now we've got something that feels very superhuman if an individual can do it, right? So what happened after that?
We continued along with the business that we were doing and never could get it to the point where it would cover our monthly budget. And we had to make some decisions. And it got to the point where we either didn't pay our home bill or pulled our kids out of their activities. And it's that moment where your heart crushes. You're that parent that has to look at your kids and say, for this time, we can't do this. And it was devastating. We had hit our non-negotiable of what do we do? This was our non-negotiable, and how do we fix it? And so my husband said, well, I'll go back to doing another company, doing some home remodeling to help cover the difference. And I said, it's time for me to step up. I want to flip roles with you. And I've put my coaching business on hold for the last 9 years. And now I want to go back into coaching because I can do that from anywhere. Our kids are to the level in their sports that almost everything they do now is out of state. So either my husband's somewhere with tennis or I'm somewhere with dance. It's very rarely that it's local, but we want to do that together as a family. I want to get to see my son play. I want my husband to get to see my daughter dance. And I said, let me go back into coaching. I can do that from anywhere. I paid for this wonderful program with Martha that I've started twice and put on hold twice and never did it. I'm doing it. I said, and I promise you that within 3 months I will retire you. So my goal's January 1st, Martha. I'm gotta get pumping. And I literally started 4 weeks ago. Like head down, tunnel vision. Saturdays are my HBR day. I do nothing but HBR on Saturdays. I do the videos, and I do one video, implement. Do a video, implement. And that's what I'm doing. And I've been showing up. I hopped in change makers just to move the needle. I need that additional accountability. I need to be around, you know, you surround yourself with the 5 people you're around the most. And I was like, I have to be immersed in people that are already doing it, already successful, already where I want to be, to help keep me moving forward and push me and keep me motivated. And that's what I'm doing. I'm showing up. I'm showing up on calls that I'm not even ready to show up on. I'm doing the video calls with James Cooper. I'm doing Megan's book author calls. I have a list of 8 books now that I'm going to be writing. Like, I'm doing it. I'm showing up. And I just keep telling my husband, I'm not going to get discouraged. I'm not going to get discouraged. I'm not going to get discouraged.
Right. I mean, whatever you have to tell yourself in order to be able to push through that, that's the difference between people that are going to make it and people that aren't, is that you have conviction. You have conviction that this thing is going to happen, and that will not let you stop. I heard somebody, it was Tony Robbins's personal trainer, and a couple days ago, he was talking, and he was like, there's 3 types of people, and forgive me, I don't remember the first type, but I don't think they do anything, and I just didn't remember them. But the next 2 types are very interesting, because the middle type, says, I'm going to do this thing and here I go and da 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 da. And they start out hot, right? And they start out ready to go. And then they overdo it. And then they end up puttering out because they've overdone it and they haven't really, the way that they look at things is, oh my gosh, I have to do this thing. So like if you're doing your workout for the day, how many sit-ups do I have left? How many of this do I have left? How many of this do I have left? And really they're looking at it like it's something they don't want to do, but they're doing it anyway. And then the difference between that type of person and the next type of person that he talks about is the next type of person is lifelong mastery. And so there's the person that's just gonna gun it and go, and then there's the person that chooses lifelong mastery of a subject. And his was talking about working out. So what lifelong mastery then looked like is, I'm better today. I'm choosing to be better today. And so whenever you're working out that day, you're imagining the muscles getting bigger. You're imagining your body shaping up and forming. You're imagining all of these things instead of how long till I'm done. Right? So it goes from a task and a thing that you don't want to do, but you're making yourself do, to the lifelong mastery is, I choose to do this thing and I'm sticking with it because I know it's going to pay off. And that sounds like where you're at right now. So you can't lose. You just can't.
Yeah, I've been that second person.
I have too.
Started things gung-ho and then I burn out 100%.
Yep.
And this time I am to that place. I'm to that place where, I have a vision.
Yeah.
I have the vision. It's very clear, where before when I started working through HBR, I didn't have a clear vision. Mm-hmm. And now I have a very clear vision of the direction I'm going, where I want to be, where I want to get to. And now I'm just filling in those small steps. I take small intentional action steps every single day. Does my to-do list get done every day? No, it does not. In fact, I add to my to-do list every day, but I'm still making progress.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what, whenever people join HBR and they choose lifelong mastery, they choose that version of themselves, which everybody has, by the way. Everybody has that version of themselves. It's just whether you choose to go there or not. And when you choose lifelong mastery and you join into HBR, you simply cannot lose. You can't lose because you have the resources. You have what works. And so it's really just, it's bobbing and weaving and making it yours. So tell me, and this is going to be an interesting thing, and I don't think I've ever asked anybody this before, but what would it have been like in your life had you not made the decision to step up and to join into, a program that's going to help you be able to switch roles with your husband and that sort of thing? What would life look like without that?
The exact same that it did a year ago. I would be making no progress. I would be doing the same thing that I had been doing before. I would not be taking those steps. I would think that I would want to. I would say that I would want to, but I would not actually be implementing them. I think the biggest thing with HBR that has been the significant needle mover for me has been watching the other women, because having that community and seeing other people actually do it, but then also being able to ask for help with those people. I spent some time yesterday with someone learning how to do Instagram. It's not a platform I've ever used, but I knew I needed to be successful at it in order to get to where I want to be in 3 months. And I just asked somebody, hey, is there anybody that would spend 30 minutes with me helping me learn Instagram enough to get a profile up and going? And guess what? It's up and going.
Oh, that community is the best. That community, it's everything. It's everything. Yes. Well, what do you see? So you've got the vision. You've got the, you know where you're going. Where do you see your family, your life? What do you see in 3 years, which is a long time? Where do you see, what is your life like in 3 years? What are the things you get to do?
Well, we have an RV so that we can travel easily with our family and be able to go to all of those activities and events. when my husband broke his back, we made the decision to sell our house to an investor and become a renter because being self-employed, we were unable to access the equity in it.
Uh-huh.
So I want to buy my house back so that I don't have to keep being a renter. And then I've got those 8 books written, and I have always had this vision, and I've been shown seeing myself out on stage communicating to women who have lost children. That's part of my story is I lost my second son. And to be able to reach back into that fire and help women go from adversity to achiever. And that's the whole premise of my direction is I'm taking all of my stories of all the adversity I've been through in my life, and I'm reaching back in the fire and pulling people up to rise above those ashes.
There's no better life. There's no better life, period, than a life in service. And a life in service based on your own pain it doesn't make the pain go away. I'm not going to say it makes the pain go away, and especially the pain of a loss of a child. I mean, that's, there are no words. But it's somehow, every time I talk about this with you, Tabitha, I always cry.
You know?
It's somehow, it brings a worth, like it brings, I'm sorry, go ahead.
The difference now, I think this just clicked for me. The difference now between what I've tried to do this in the past and what I'm doing now, I'm not focused on the money. Before it was how can I make the money that I need to make to support my family?
Yeah.
And now it's not about that. When I do everything I do every single day, I'm not thinking about how much money am I going to be making. Yes, I have income goals on a spreadsheet. We have to look to see where we want to end up.
Yeah.
But that's not my focus anymore. My focus is helping those women who are walking around in that fog that don't know how to take that first step to move forward. They want to move forward. They just don't know how, and they need someone to pull them out of it. They have to have that person there. And that's been my focus now, not the money.
I love
It'll
it.
come. I know it'll come.
Yeah.
But you got to have a different purpose. You got to have a different direction. And if it's financial, you will not succeed.
Nope. And even if you succeed, it'll be for a little bit, and then you'll backslide. It's not.
Yes.
There's not sustainable success when just looking for dollars, especially in the work that we do, especially in this work. Let me say, because we're hitting up on our time here, what is the name of your group in case there is a mom here that is just feeling your story? What is the name of your group so they could join your group?
From adversity to achiever, women rising above the ashes.
From adversity to achiever, women rising above the ashes. And you guys, that's on Facebook, okay? If anybody that's watching right now can pop over to that group and even grab the link and pop it into the comments, I would love that. Also, I'm going to put some people up on screen here. Michelle, love is the greatest dividend. Yes. Corey, yes, I finally understand that when you find your true bat signal, you will feel this 100%. Yes. Cindy, Tabitha, you're going to do amazing things. Yes, she is. Kayla, Tabitha, I just love what you're doing. See, there it is. Here it is, you guys. Heather, yes, girl, voting your victory. Joey, Changemakers is so good, just the community. You guys, if you're not in HBR and you hear us talking about HBR, let me go ahead and just give you the quick 1-2 on it. You would go to Livin the Dream with Martha. It's my Facebook business page. Message me the words, let's do this, rainbows and unicorns, whatever you want. And we'll have a conversation about it. I'll give you the details of it. You'll say whether you're in or out. Either way, I'm not going to chase you around the internet. Understand that it's going up to 10K pretty soon, but you can get it at $14.97 right now and still get access to everything it's going to be when it goes to 10K and it gets that big like push. It's getting a massive push here really soon, like in other resources that we're adding to it, but you'll still have access to that. All you'll have to pay is what you pay today. So I would suggest getting in now. Totally up to you on what you want to do though. Let me get out of this. Tabitha, thank you so much. I appreciate you for coming on. Of course. You have the best day, and everybody else have an awesome day too. I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye.